I know I'm a very positive person, and what's for you will be for you, and what's not for you absolutely will not work in your favor. Time I start spreading my wings and fly and try to pursue social media full time, I don't know what's going to come of this.
If I go there, baby, with you.
Good morning and welcome back to another video. I'm actually gonna do a little get ready. I have a video I want to do touching on things I'm letting go moving into the new year. So if you have not seen my life after work vlog, I briefly touched on I'm no longer working. It came as a bit of a surprise to me. At the same time, it kind of was not. I can't elaborate on it much because I did end up getting a retainer and I got what was owed to me. If you're ever in a situation where you're terminated without cause and you are offered a severance, I highly suggest that you still contact a lawyer to get legal advice. In my situation, I actually was, when I seen the severance or whatever, I was like, yeah, I'm getting like all this money, and I was so excited. And I spoke to my aunt, who is a very smart lady, and she's like, that's great and all, but I think you should seek some legal advice. And in the beginning, I was like, I don't want to pay $500 to talk to someone. And I'm happy I did, because I was entitled to quite a bit more money than I was originally offered. So that is my first tip. If you're terminated without cause, seek legal advice before signing anything. It was kind of rushed, like, oh yeah, you need to sign this like today, and then this money will be deposited soon. So I was like, yes, I'm going to get money, whatever. And then again, speaking to my husband and a few other family members, I decided that, my husband and I decided it would be best to just get a little bit of advice. That's that. Again, it's not something I can go into detail with just because I did sign legal documents and I'm not trying to get sued. I thought maybe they would reposition me and put me in a different department given it was a weird situation, but that was not the case. Am I happy? I absolutely hated the job. I left my old job of 7 years and I went into a new role, and honestly it seemed like it was going to be so good and the people there seemed like they were so awesome. It was very strange just because I was coming in and I was supposed to be there to help certain people, and certain people felt like, I'm too busy to train you, I don't have time for this. And it was just a weird department. That's all I'm going to say. Some people were nice, most people were not. Most people tried to reach out to me after the announcement came out that I was no longer there. They were blocked. Why I did not respond to you? I hope you see this, because you're an evil person. And that's that. Yeah, that's that on that topic. Moving on now. Another thing I'm letting go is anything that's out of my control. So again, in the beginning, I was in like this weird mood about it, even though I was happy it happened. But at the same time, I'm like, should I be happy? Should I not be happy? I don't know. It was just like all these mixed emotions. And I said to myself, I'm like, you need to let go of anything that's not for you. And I'm like, clearly this was not for me. I don't even know if I shared the products. I actually forgot to put primer on my face. So I'm going to go in now with my Huda Beauty Easy Blur Primer. I picked this up during the Sephora VIB sale. But yeah, I just decided, I know I'm a very positive person, and what's for you will be for you, and what's not for you absolutely will not work in your favor. I decided maybe a few days after I was terminated without cause, let me put that in there, that it was not something I was going to stress over, because I know at the end of the day, God always has my back, and I know I have nothing to worry about. As I am a child of the Most High, let me tell you. And it's been, I think, honestly, just over this last 2 years, it's just been such a transition period for myself, my family. And I've been doing a lot of soul searching, I'd say, over the last, definitely since January of 2025. I was in a really weird state of mind with my previous job before I moved into the other role. And I was just very unhappy and I didn't know what to make of it. I stayed in that job because it was easy. Not only was it easy, but it was extremely flexible. It allowed me to be home with my kids I know growth is uncomfortable and it's something that we don't usually want to do because it means like, oh, growing pains, I got to start over. This is going to be uncomfortable. I don't want to go into a new department. I don't want to go into a new company, but maybe it's time I start spreading my wings and fly and try to pursue social media full time. I don't know what's going to come of this. I'm going to give myself 2 years to kind of figure it out, but I'm very excited about this new venture. I wake up in the morning excited to start my day. I will say though, in the beginning, it was a little bit difficult. I was talking to my mother-in-law because she's like, you need to find ladies at lunch. And she's just so supportive of me always. She's just awesome. And get some friends in your city. And there were just all these mixed emotions. And then she was a stay-at-home mom and then went back to work when her kids got older. And she's like, I think you should just take this time to figure it out. You're not being pressed to go back to work right now. Just figure this out. Take your time and figure it out. And my mother-in-law is very knowledgeable. She's a very smart lady. And I am 100% going to take her advice. That's that. But I find sometimes when things happen that we weren't expecting, we tend to get very uncertain, and that uncertainty can be very nerve-wracking. I remember listening to a Mel Robbins podcast in January of 2025. There was a trail I used to go on in the mornings because it was by my old place. It was touched on basically the situation I was currently going through. Like I felt stuck in my previous role before I jumped to the other department. And she was talking about when you feel stuck and how it can be you need to learn to trust yourself. And it was a podcast. I need to find it because I actually want to go back and listen to it. But I find the Mel Robbins podcasts are always top tier. And the Emma Grady, her podcasts are, I just recently stumbled upon her podcast. I'm also going to start taking up some hobbies. I'm sitting around here every day. Simone comes home from school and she's like, so what did you buy today? And I'm like, oh God, is this like a thing? Yes, it is a thing. But I'm like, I was telling my husband yesterday, I'm like, I'm going to do some hobbies. I'm going to take up skiing lessons because my family is a family that skis, not me, but my husband and my kids love to ski. And I was just like, I'm going to take ski lessons. There's a mountain not far away from my house. It's like about a 45-minute drive. And I did reach out to them to do some ski lessons. So I'm going to do that in the new year. I also want to, sorry, I need to bring my mirror closer to me. I also want to do some golf lessons. And golf lessons is something I was supposed to do when I first was let go. But again, I was in a weird mindset and I was just like, no, I don't want to do it. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to honestly lay in bed and just kind of think about things. But then it turned into a bad thing. I was thinking about all this negative stuff, things I should have said to coworkers, ways I should have reacted. And I'm like, no, that is the old you talking, not the new you. It is time to let it go. Another thing I am letting go before the new year is, I don't know if anyone else can relate, I should say, that's the right word. But I have, perfect example, my kids always are trying to prove me right or wrong in a situation. And I have certain friends that do the same thing to me where it's you need to try to prove me right or wrong. And I'm not doing those relationships anymore because at the end of the day, I realize they've already come up with whatever narrative in their mind about the situation, even though it's 100% fabricated. And I'm just like, you know what? If something did not work out the way, and if you know me, you know, if you know me, you know, I do not have a malicious bone in my body towards anyone that I find a friend. And there are very few people I find a friend. So if something does not, if I forget something or if something is just off or whatever, it was not like it was meant to be. It's just sometimes life is lifing. I'm not going to overexplain myself. If you are mad at me or if you, whatever, don't want to talk to me anymore, deuces is really how I'm going to be. I'm not going to sit and, life is way too short. I haven't even been talking about what I've been using on my face. So to prime my skin, I did touch on it, but I used the Easy Blur Primer by Huda Beauty. For my foundation, I used the Easy Blur foundation, natural airbrush foundation in the shade Amaretti 310G. For my contour, I use my Liss bronzing stick, and this is in the shade No Limits. I used my Danessa Myricks Semi Skin, and this is in the shade, is it 6 or 9? 9. Warm Peach. This is really good. It does not crease. It's amazing. I have a backup too. Then for my highlighting powder, I use the Translucent Honey by Laura Mercier. I bought this a long time ago, the little mini, and I'm just at the end of it now, but I do have a backup. I'm gonna set my skin first. I'm gonna use my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, and I got this fan the other day, so I'm gonna use this fan. Just trying to think, do I have any more powder to put on here? I'm gonna use my MAC Studio Fix in the shade NC42. I remember back in the day when MAC was that girl. I remember going in MAC and just dropping money. I'm not saying MAC's not that girl, but back in the 90s, MAC, in the early 2000s, if you know, you know. I'm gonna go with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush setting spray. I also want to shout out my podcast with my cousin. We have a podcast where we talk about real life shit on there. Marriage, divorce, kids, relationships. So if that's something that you enjoy, go follow us, please. We were on a little bit of a hiatus for a little bit. My cousin had a lot going on. She is currently in the process of going through a divorce and stuff, which we do talk about on the podcast. But we just took a little bit of a break for a bit because there were things that were priority. We have some really good ones coming up about different topics that are kind of like things that people with kids and families, and you don't even have to have kids, just people that are in a transition period. There's so many things we talk about on there. I'm gonna now go in with my Danessa Myricks palette. This is in the mini bronze palette. And I am gonna put on some lashes today. I'm gonna beat this mug. And I will link our podcast channel in the description box below. I am so excited for 2026. And I have a group of friends. We meet every Sunday and we talk about our goals. And I've talked about this before, but we talk about our weekly, monthly, yearly goals. And it's great because we're all like-minded people. And that's something I'm always pushing for, people to surround themselves with like-minded people. People that aren't jealous of you, people that are going to build you up. And another thing, this is just some food for thought. If a person in your circle or a person that you may be acquainted with, a person you work with, comes across a promotion or something, be happy for those people, because that means those promotions, those new exciting things are coming your way. Be happy for those that come across promotions, new successes, new cars, new houses. Those things are coming for you. Claim it. I'm going to go in with this e.l.f. liquid eyeliner. I'm going to go in with this Precisely My Brow. And this is just, I think this is just dark brown. What color is this? 4.5 Neutral Deep Brown is the shade this is in. I got my eyebrows done the other day. And I did tint them. I also have some heatless rollers on I need to take out. They're so uncomfortable to sleep in. My golly. Good morning! Hi, babies!
Gosh.
Did you have a good sleep? Oh my gosh. Why didn't you wipe off your makeup last night, Pumpkin?
I woke up at 1 in the morning and then I kept on going to bed and then I kept on waking up because I was so excited.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh, did you get some breakfast?
I forgot.
You don't like those pancakes I made the other day?
I just don't like pancakes.
Oh, okay.
I only like the ones at Starbucks because they're the only people who can make it right.
But those are just frozen pancakes that they put in the oven.
Yeah. Okay. I literally went on the website, see there's a QR code, and then you can go on the Labubu website, and then it'll see if it's real, and it said that it's authentic.
Is it authentic?
Yeah. And I'm getting it little close.
You're gonna get it close.
Mm-hmm.
This is my Makeup by Maria blush in Wildberry. Thank you guys for watching. Please let me know down below something that, or things you're not taking into the new year. Thank you again for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
We gon' set it off. We gon' tear it up. Baby, can you handle